with us now, Democratic Florida Congressman Debbie Wasserman Schulz. It is good to see you, ma'am.
Thank you, Leland.
Look, sincerely held belief on my part that America is best when we have two strong parties. You can think about Clinton and Gingrich. You can think about Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan. The best things get done when you have two strong parties in America. But for 10 years, this has been the way Democrats have been dealing with Donald Trump, not trying to deal with him or anything else, but just oppose him and shout profanities. Time to change tactics?
Well, Leland, it's good to be with you again. And I mean, I'll just point out that the clip you showed where Madonna was on stage, that was from the protest in 2018. What happened in that election cycle in 2018? Democrats won the majority in the House of Representatives. And, that is in part because we organized and mobilized against Donald Trump's obsession and unsuccessful attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act. And, the times, like in 2006, when George W. Bush thought he had a mandate to privatize Social Security, and we won the majority because Democrats across the country mobilized to push back on that and say, no, that was not something that the voters were sending a message to George W. Bush that he should do. And now this time, we will win the majority because Democrats don't want to see the entire government dismantled, our democracy dismantled. They don't want to see 16 million people lose their health care with the drastic Medicaid cuts. They don't want to see Social Security dismantled from within. They don't want to see the largest cut of nutrition assistance. And so mobilizing in this way, and it's adorable that you showed the Daily Caller footage like you're showing now. Daily Caller certainly has a particular extreme right-wing bent. But there were
You're saying this didn't happen?
No. There were what I'm saying is that there were millions of people across the country this weekend that organized peaceful protests.
1,000%? No.
From the smallest towns you're always going to have odd things like what you're showing on
fair enough. We should not define any party by the oddest among us. I agree with you. I'll stipulate that. You said though something different. I think you make a great point. George W. Bush on Social Security, Donald Trump in 2018 focused on the Affordable Care Act, on Obamacare. But what you just said about opposing Trump this time around is very different. So dismantling Social Security from within, there's no cuts to benefits. Nobody's not gotten their Social Security checks. 16 million people on Medicaid. No one so far has lost their Medicaid coverage. If they do, there's going to be a lot of people who are illegal aliens or people who have work requirements. But just go with it. Just go with me for a second here, away from the talking point. What is the way to take Donald Trump on an issue? What should Democrats be for rather than be against?
We should make sure what we're for is ensuring that we're not going to slash healthcare for millions of people. We're not going to make it harder for seniors to get access to their Social Security. We're not going to make the most significant cuts to nutrition assistance and leave people hungry. We're not going to force hospital closures as a result, and all that in service of giving more and larger tax breaks to billionaires. We need working families tax breaks so we can, as I've talked to you about this before, when you give working families and the middle class tax breaks, you see them invest that into the economy. And if you see the contrast and choice that voters are going to have in 2026 is going to be, do we want a president to continue to totally control the dismantling of our democracy, taking these things away, to give more tax breaks to billionaires?
Okay, I got the idea, but I want to get you on the issue of immigration, because this has now been another hill that Democrats have decided is an important one for them. In Los Angeles today, they are demanding that the federal government, quote unquote Trump, pay for the riots that were brought on by Trump enforcing laws the city of Los Angeles and the state of California would not. Take a listen.
I am demanding full accountability and reimbursement for the local costs incurred, including injuries to local officers and damages caused by the chaos unleashed when the Trump administration recklessly deployed the military and ICE agents into our communities.
80% of Americans want criminal illegal aliens deported. You're not on the wrong side of the issue when you're blaming people who are enforcing the law rather than the people who are breaking the law?
You're right. And Democrats want criminal aliens deported, and we want Donald Trump to keep the promise that he made, that that was what he was going to prioritize. But you know what he's doing instead? Instead, he gives quotas to ICE agents and financially...
Yeah, he's learned his lesson. He seems to have rescinded those, but yeah.
He's giving financial incentives to ICE agents to go out and detain more and more immigrants. He's having ICE detain pregnant American women, deport American citizen children. And I represent one of the largest, if not the largest, district in terms of Venezuelan American immigrants. And you know what's happening in my community? Donald Trump made 500,000 more undocumented immigrants by repealing the lawful program that Venezuelans, Haitians, Haitians, others came in legally, and he repealed that program, and now that's another 500,000 people who are undocumented suddenly facing deportation when they did it the legal way, and they have no ability to return to a country that they came from because it is horrific and they face oppression and danger. Okay. All he's interested in is the numbers. He wants to just deport people, bleach out this country.
Things have changed a little bit since then, but your point's well made.
And that's why I have Republican colleagues speaking out now who are supporters of Trump, who say he's doing it the wrong way and violating his promise.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.